As socialized human beings, the effects of privilege and power are both around us and within us. Over the course of our lives, our families, communities, schools, and other U.S. institutions have socialized us. Whether we reject normative expectations or feel in alignment with dominant culture, our environment and other external factors shape our thoughts and beliefs every day. In addition to our family history and background, our multiple identities, such as race, gender, citizenship status, ability, class, or sexual orientation, all have value in different systems of American society. Historically, if we look at colonialism and the way indigenous cultures and peoples were conquered through genocide and immediately placed at the lower end of society, we can begin to understand the source of the many mechanisms of oppression in America today. Therefore, it is important to ask ourselves, how has colonialism impacted our daily life? How can we notice the ways in which we inadvertently enact systems of privilege, power, and oppression? Let's talk about privilege first, but before we can assess our own privilege, we must define it. Privilege can be seen as an invisible package of unearned assets, and in our society, those assets give you advantage and get you ahead. The word privilege seems to be misleading, however. We usually think of privilege as being favored, whether earned or bestowed by birth or luck. Yet some of the conditions of privilege work to systematically overpower certain groups. Power is the ability to control or coerce. It also includes access to social, political, and economic resources. In systems of oppression, power accrues to those who most closely approximate dominant characteristics, which in the U.S. is male, white or whiteness, heterosexual, financially stable, and able-bodied. We are much more diverse than what is represented in mass media and politics. Now that you've been given the background of privilege and power, it's time for you to see how much privilege you really have. Let's unpack your invisible knapsack. Do you agree with any of the following? I can be pretty sure that my neighbor will be neutral or pleasant to me. I can ignore the widths of doors, the presence of steps, and other architectural features of buildings. I can be sure that my children will be given curricular materials that testify to the existence of their race. I can speak in public to a powerful male group without putting my gender on trial. I will get public recognition and support for my intimate relationship. If a traffic cop pulls me over, I can be sure that I haven't been singled out because of my race. At the end of the day, why does admitting to our own privilege and power even matter? First, it helps us to distinguish between positive advantages, which we can work to spread, and negative advantages, which unless rejected will always reinforce our present hierarchies. And second, there are social consequences and endless emotional traumas resulting from hierarchies based on unearned privilege and power. Let all of us who have privilege and power use our voices and resources to reject the mythical norm and embrace diversity. Difference is the new norm.